Hey everyone, I am so thrilled you're joining me today. We're jumping right into an explainer that's going to pull back the curtain on something you are probably feeling every single day, but maybe you just haven't quite found the words to describe it yet. We're talking about the quiet crush of modern overwhelm. Today, we're going to take a really structured look at why you feel the exact way you do, and more importantly, we're going to validate that this is absolutely not just in your head.
So can I say something you probably already know deep down, but nobody has actually said out loud to you? You are not just tired. I really, really need you to hear that. Being tired is what happens when you have a bad night's sleep, right? What you are experiencing right now is entirely different. It's something so much heavier and frankly, way more complex than just needing a quick nap. Because true exhaustion, it's that feeling where you finally lie down at the end of the day, your body is completely still, but your brain is just sprinting. It's running this relentless, nonstop ticker tape. You know the one. Have I signed the school permission slips? Did I pick up mom's blood pressure tablets? Wait, did I actually hit send on that work email or is it literally still sitting in my drafts? Oh, and is the car due for its MOT? Notice something about this list? Not a single one of these things is a 5-alarm fire. None of it is a true emergency. But all of it, taken together, just never, ever stops. Okay, let's dive into this, because to solve a problem, we first have to name it. Section 1, Naming the Mental Load. Subtitle, It's Not a You Problem.
See, on the one hand, we have the doing. That's the physical tasks, the running of the errands, the actual act of folding the laundry or driving the car. But the real weight, that is the tracking. The mental load isn't about the doing, it's about the tracking. It's holding every single thread of everyone's life in your head at once, all day long, just to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. It's a completely invisible burden. And you know what you feel like you're failing? Because you think, oh, I just need a better planner or some new productivity app. But the truth from the research is stark. You are carrying way more than any planner was ever built to hold. And this load, it doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Which brings us to Section 2, the sandwich generation. Subtitle, The Perfect Storm of Demands. Let's be real for a second. Your life is objectively harder right now because of the environment you're in. Just think about what has landed squarely on your shoulders all at the exact same time. First, you've got kids who still absolutely need you, but now those needs are messier and vastly more emotional than when they were toddlers. At the same time, you've got parents who suddenly aren't as steady or as independent as they used to be. Add to that a job that hasn't given you an inch of grace. And on top of all of that, the whole shebang, your own body is quietly changing the rules on you without even asking. All these compounding pressures are landing at once. It's a squeeze from every possible direction.
If you're managing kids and parents simultaneously, you're in what experts call the sandwich generation. And honestly, the research on this is not gentle. Nearly 2 in 3 working women, that is a staggering 67%, who are in the sandwich position have hit a real breaking point. And we're not talking about just having a rough week. We're talking about clinical burnout. As a result, we're seeing health costs skyrocketing. And devastatingly, women are stepping back from careers they've spent 20 years building simply because the pressure is unsustainable.
Section 3, Hormones and Working Memory. Subtitle, The Biological Betrayal.
Now, what's really interesting about this, and nobody tends to mention this crucial fact, is that these exact high-stress sandwich years usually line up perfectly with perimenopause. So you're lying awake at 3 a.m. wondering, okay, is this the stress or is this my hormones? Genuinely, it's probably both, and they're actually making each other much worse. To understand why this is happening, we have to define something critical: working memory. Your working memory is the part of your brain that holds several things at once. Funnily enough, this is the exact, precise cognitive function that managing the mental load demands the most of. Think of it like your brain's RAM, just trying desperately to keep all those tabs open. And here is where the biology kind of betrays you. Your hormones are not just background noise here. Estrogen has a direct biological line to your working memory. So when estrogen drops, your working memory takes a massive hit. Add stress to the mix? Well, stress on its own is already wearing down the parts of your brain that handle focus and mood. When you combine that with dropping estrogen, you end up with drastically less capacity right at the exact moment life is asking the absolute most of you. So it's not a coincidence that you feel overwhelmed, and it is definitely, categorically not a weakness. It's literally physiology.
Section 4, The True Cost of Stress. Subtitle, This is a Health Issue.
I'm sharing this next piece of information not to scare you, but to really ground us in reality. 50. That number represents a massive landmark study. Researchers followed a group of women for 50 years. That is 5 decades of tracking data.
They specifically looked at women who went through serious stress-related exhaustion during their midlife years.
And the results of that study? Honestly, they're chilling. The women who experienced that severe midlife burnout had a significantly higher risk of developing dementia before the age of 75. Not only that, but they showed measurably lower cognitive function even decades later. So, this exhaustion you're feeling, it isn't just some uncomfortable season that you should just grit your teeth and push through. It's a serious medical health issue. It leaves a lasting footprint on your brain. You absolutely have to treat it like a health issue because the data proves it is one.
Section 5. Putting the load down. Subtitle, Destroying the Myth of Efficiency.
So the crucial point is, how do we actually fix this? First things first, you have to stop asking what's wrong with you. Because as we've established with the data and the biology, absolutely nothing is wrong with you. You do not solve this by getting more efficient. You cannot out-organize this problem. Actually, scratch that. You can't color-code your way out of biological and environmental overload either. The only way you solve this is by being brutally honest about the impossible size of the load you're carrying.
So here is your game plan, the 3 steps you need to take right now. Number 1, understand. Recognize the biological and systemic load for what it actually is. Acknowledge the estrogen, the stress, the sandwich generation dynamics. Number 2, reflect. You must be completely honest about the actual size of the load. And finally, number 3, choose. You have to actively let some of it go. You have to share it, you have to say no to some of it, and you have to put some of it down for good.
Which leaves us with this final, really vital question. What is actually on your plate right now? Who put it there? And how long have you been carrying it without any help? It is trying to take a hard look at your invisible list. Start putting those threads down. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go take a look at that plate.